Hey everybody, this is Dirk from the Prime XPT Trading Academy with a very special episode of That Crypto Show. Today we want to discuss the US interest rate decision and its effects on the cryptocurrency market. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, leave us a like, and I'll see you again in around about 20 seconds. Hey, welcome back. So on today's show, we are not going to look so much into charts like usual. We want to more discuss about the potential effects in an interest rate decision in America could have on the cryptocurrency markets. And I'm going to show you why this interest rate decision and especially the speech Jerome Powell is going to give half hour after the interest rate decision is so important for the development of not only the stock, but also the cryptocurrency markets for the next weeks and months. Let's start with a very quick view on what happened yesterday. So we saw Bitcoin, and I'm going into the 30-minute time frame here. We saw Bitcoin failing to regain this important area of 44,000 US dollars, which I was talking about yesterday. We made a slump underneath 40,000 again, and then somewhat established a new trading channel here between 44,000 as the higher band and 40,000 on the downside. At the moment, we are right in the middle of that. So everybody is waiting there probably for what is really going to happen in around about 7 hours in terms of interest rate decision. And remember again, we are in a sentiment of extreme fear. And this is usually when the majority of market participants does not make really good and right decisions anymore. Because, when it comes to trading, everybody that has been trading before knows that being afraid or being too greedy, so having very high and wild emotions, usually is not good for making trading decisions. That's why whenever you see the sentiment either in the extreme fear or on the other side of extreme greed, it usually is an indication that there is something about to happen to the other side. But it could still be a couple of days or weeks until this happens. But bear that in the back of your hand. We also saw the last days in the sentiment of extreme fear how closely the stock market and Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency markets, are really correlated. So whenever in a world that is afraid currently because of the Chinese potential crisis brewing there with the real estate developer Evergrande. So in this kind of setting, really the cryptocurrency market tend to follow what the stock markets are doing, and a good really index, the best index to watch there is the American Standard & Poor's 500, the S&P 500. So maybe you should put this also onto your trading screen for the moment, that is. So later today, and this is in around about 7 hours from now, we are going to see an interest rate decision by the Federal Reserve Bank in the USA. So the decision itself is not really that important. The forecast is that the interest rate is going to remain the same at 0.25%. But the interesting thing really is going to be the speech Jerome Powell is going to give half hour after the interest rate decision. And in order to understand why this is so important, we need to have a look at what the setting currently is. So ever since Corona started and the world economy took a nosedive, the Federal Reserve Bank has been starting what is called quantitative easing. So basically, they are buying treasury securities or mortgage-backed securities of around about 120 billion US dollars per month. And they do this to further support the economy in a setting where the interest rates are already near to zero. So it's really a measurement of last resorts. Now, since mid 2021, we've seen the US economy recover by quite a bit. So everybody was kind of expecting now for those yeah, for those monthly buying measures of 120 billion to slowly slow down and fade out. And this is what is called tapering, by the way. You'll see that a lot probably over the media today. So everybody was expecting Jerome Powell today to announce that the Fed will lessen and will slowly fade out this huge buying program they have been doing now for really quite some time already. And now, with the Chinese crisis, with the real estate markets in China being in shock, with Evergrande, the Chinese real estate developer, having liabilities of 300 billion US dollars, which probably they cannot pay back anymore. So we are in kind of a limbo there. Now, if Jerome Powell sends a sign that he says the Fed is not going to taper, they're going to continue to buy around about 120 billion US dollars in bonds every month, this would be very, very positive for the stock markets, and the markets are kind of expecting this. So, if he makes that decision and continues to buy bonds, we probably would see quite a steep recovery in the stock markets. And again, here a steep recovery in the stock market would also be something that is good for the cryptocurrency markets. So we could probably expect then Bitcoin really attacking areas around 44, 46, potentially up to 48,000 US dollars rather fast. So really, really, this is something to look out for. On the contrary, if the Fed is going to taper, we could see more pressure on the stock markets, meaning also Bitcoin potentially going down here into this area round about at 38 or 36,000 US dollar. So really, this is a once again make it or break it moment for the cryptocurrency and the stock markets. And I'm very nosy how this is going to play out. We are going to report in more detail about the outcomes tomorrow on tomorrow's shows. Until then, especially today, remember really to hold your stops tight so you are not going to be surprised on the wrong side of the market. Take care and see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.